Alright, today guys, I want to be delving into a little problem that cropped up on my daily, which is a Stage 3 Volvo S60R 2007 Geartronic, the automatic, that I've had for the last about 70,000 miles. It's been very reliable to me, but a couple weeks ago I started getting a pretty substantial oil leak, and I started taking off braces, trying to figure out where this was coming from. It was coming from primarily the driver's side, or the rear of the engine, dripping oil. And check the angle gear, turbo, everything underneath was soaked. And had to take off some stuff up top, and discovered that my rear exhaust cam seal was leaking. Forgive how dirty this is. This used to be a really fun show car, but I've let it become a daily driver, and in New England it's really hard to keep these things clean. And what happened is this seal, after the past 60,000 miles or so since I replaced it, developed a leak. Now these seals are very cheap. I decided to go through a company, FCP Euro, which is located pretty locally down in Connecticut. And they had several different options for seals in stock, which I'd like to talk about to you today. They have OE Volvo, which is, at the time of this video, was about 22 bucks. They had Cortico, which was $5, L-Ring, which was $1.30, and Victor Rines, which was like $2.20. I ended up going with Victor Rines, which, if you know me from my other videos, I am really not a fan of Victor Rines. Not a fan of their head gaskets, or pretty much critical pieces. However, Victor Rines is the OEM, the original equipment manufacturer for Volvo for these specific gaskets. L-Ring and Cortico use a nitrile gasket, which is very resistant to oils, but not so much to temp. The Victor Rines and the Volvo OE gasket are a material called Viton, which is, it's a trademark name, but it is much more resistant to heat and automotive chemicals. In any application, like cam seals or any other applications on your engine that might come close to the oil or specialty fluids, I would highly recommend getting Viton. It's a little bit more expensive, and it's a much better seal than NBR or HNBR, otherwise known as nitrile. So I went ahead and got them through FCP Euro, which, if I don't like these, if these start to leak again, this is a very easy task to accomplish. And they have an amazing lifetime warranty, so I can swap these out at any time, and it's really no object to me to go with Victor Rines. So what, to make this easy for you, if you have, I have a big airbox here, Elevate AMS air management system that sits right here, so I took that out for a little bit of ease of access. You pull this back, you will need to remove your upper engine brace that goes right across here, and your torque mount that goes right here. And then behind that, there will be an aluminum plate that has 3 bolts, I believe, that unbolts from right there. And then you will reveal the cap. There's a black plastic cap just like this right here. Oh, there it is, right down here. You'll remove this with 2 Torx bits. Take that right out of the way. And I like to use a dental pick, a right angle dental pick, just like this. As you can see, good Lord, it is hard to do 2 things at once, let me tell you. But pretty much just stab in down there, and boop, O-rings out. Look at that offending little guy. Another thing to note, the Victor Rines and the Volvo OE one have this metal, I believe it's a brass ring in it, with the Viton seal down here, and this black nitrile seal out here. The L-Ring and the Cortico were all red. I believe they may have had a black buffer ring on the outside, but they had none of this metal ring inside here. So it's this big swath of red instead of a brass piece. That's a way to tell what's OEM and what's not. Now we're gonna clean that up with some shop rags and install our new seal. All right, so she's all cleaned up, and now we turn over to our box from FCP Euro, which, by the way, guys, this is a huge box for 2 cam seals. Gonna open this up right there. There we have it. Woo. this amazing box. Where are they? All the way down there. Shout out to you guys at FCP. Every time I call you guys on the phone, it's like you never have a bad day. It's like every time I talk to you, you're having the best day of your life working there. So thank you very much for getting me hooked up with these seals. All right, so to compare, this is the Victor Ryan seal right here. And here's the old Volvo seal. Same grooves on the inside, same metal ring on both. And we're just gonna take that and go boop. Push that in all the way around. Little tap tap with a hammer and a soft drift, like a piece of slim wood or the back end of a small screwdriver to seat that firmly in place, and we'll be good. All right, the front cam sensor is also off, and now I'd like to talk to you a little bit about hardware. The front uses a T25 bolt right up there, and the back uses, oh goodness, what is this? I think this is a T30. I'm wrong. Uses a T40. So you'll need a T25 and a T40 to get those two off. This one looks dry up here. There's a little residue down below, so I'm gonna clean this one up and replace it while I'm in here. Once again, guys, this is slightly harder than changing your oil, and you'll need only a few more tools than you would need to change your oil. So it makes sense to do these as often as you need to. Next up, these are the cam sensor plug ends. Don't know what the technical term for those pieces are. But be very careful when installing these. There's a series of notches down in there that these have to really specifically line up to. They're very brittle, very easy to break. So make sure you're careful lining them up and make sure they're on there good and snug. From the factory, they're on there insanely tight. You'll actually feel the cams move in the head, which is a little bit, you know, disconcerting, but it's completely normal for the cams to shift a little bit when you break those things loose. But you should still be able to break them loose with a 1/4-inch driver. They're nothing crazy. Do not go at them with a 1/2 inch, because let me tell you, that would be a nightmare to snap off one of the bolts in there or break one of these little bad guys. Now this front seal gave me a little bit more trouble. As I said, the seal wasn't leaking. It just had some ugly dust under there. So I wanted to change it out while I was under there, and yeah, the picks weren't doing the trick. So one of my little workarounds for cam seals that can be a little bit of a trouble is to take a regular wood screw, go towards the soft side, definitely not towards this black edge, but towards the red edge next to the cam, and drill through with, there you go. And as you tighten, it'll puncture through that, hit the aluminum block, and whichever gives first, the rubber or the aluminum, the rubber always loses. So this will pop right out. Quick and easy, painless. Now all we have to do is install the next one after we clean this up.